Okay, I'm hitting record on my end. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm recording.
Okay. So I'm not going to introduce myself since it's mostly my team here. They know me. But tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about recruiting. And I feel like for the past 3 years I've been with Cincy, I've always said recruiting is my jam. And that's been my favorite thing to talk about. I've spoken at a couple of our Spring Sprint World Tour about recruiting because building my team, once the first person joined me, I realized, wow, this is amazing. The potential to build a team, the potential for income, and just the relationships you make as your teams grow. So I'm just going to share 5 tips on what I do, because many people at this time come to me. And I think it is result from some of these specific things that I do. The very first thing, the one thing we need to remember, and I heard this early on, was that sales are our income for today, but recruits are your income for tomorrow. So you can build that residual income with Cincy or network marketing based on recruiting and stuff. So when you're recruiting someone, the first thing you want to make sure you're doing is being yourself. I have had people come to me and they want to join Cincy, and I want them on my team, but I talk to them, I do it all, and they're ready to join, and then I refer them to someone else on my team because they're more local to them, and I thought maybe it would give that person like the motivation they need or whatever. But the important thing is, when someone is coming to you to join, they're coming to you because they've watched you and they like you. So keep that in mind as people come to you, that usually it's because of the things you are doing and how they see you acting either on Facebook or wherever you are on social media, or however you do your parties, if they really connected with you. The one thing you want to do when you're being you is be consistent. I preach that so much on my team. Consistency is key. Like, if I only post when I need to reach a sales goal, or I only post when I need someone to join my team, or only reach out to them for that reason, they're not going to take me seriously. So posting and being consistent about your business, whether it's people joining or just comments about like what your team's doing, or a picture about what you got from Cincy or one of your upline or something you're making for your team, being consistent and sharing that stuff is very important, because they're getting to know you as a leader and they're seeing that you love your business. One of the most important things we've been seeing a lot lately is how we need to, in being ourselves, we need to create our own stuff. So I know if you're part of my team, you've heard me say a lot, like, come on, don't share the stock photos anymore. Go make your own. If you're going to share a stock photo, go to your app on your phone and edit it a little bit, or add your website to it. Make it different, because Facebook has made it where when all the Cincy consultants are sharing the same photo, they're starting to hide them, and many people don't even see what you're posting. So if you have a lot of Cincy friends, you probably see when the same stock photo from the website or someone on a flyer site has created it, and when you're sharing it, I'm telling you, like, a lot of people will not see it. So take the time, just get an app, and if you need help, like, I'm sure there's someone on your team that will help you. Matter of fact, I keep meaning to do a training for my team, showing them how I make my graphics, because it's not as hard as we think. Like, I used to put that off, that it's not my thing. It takes a little bit of time, but doing that will move your business to the next level, and it will set you apart from other Cincy consultants. So when other people are watching you, and if they have multiple people and they're watching how you create your business to fit you, and you're unique to you, where you're using your personal photo, sharing how Cincy has blessed your life, or even, talking about something and there's just a picture of Cincy in the background. Being yourself and sharing your real life with people is key. And when you are talking to people, one of the most important things when you're talking to them about the opportunity is not to share somebody else's story. Share yours. Be real and be personal in your stories. Now here, if you're brand new, a lot of times I've had people say, and I said the same thing, well, I don't have a story. What am I supposed to tell them? I haven't earned any trips, or I haven't done this. That's when you share with them why you joined Cincy, what Cincy has done for you so far, and if you want to throw in something about like your upline or something, that's okay. But don't make the topic be about someone else you look up to. So if you want to share about, I don't know, I think when I first joined and I was talking to someone, I'm like, yeah, my director, she earned a free trip to Punta Cana, because at that time, that's where she had earned it. And what I added in was, that's my goal. I want to take my husband on a free vacation. So I am sharing her story, but why does that reflect back on me? So this book, if you haven't read it, Be a Recruiting Superstar by Mary Christensen, is a very, very good book. This was one of the first books I bought when I joined Cincy. And I said early on, like, this book changed my life and my way of doing things. And I just took a couple of things. Very short. But one of the things it says about this is real life experiences are always more persuasive than facts, figures, and statistics, because they paint the picture, they're more vivid, and they're more real. And people, when they're coming to you and they're connecting with you, they're connecting with your story, not somebody else's story, and not Cincy's story. So keep that in mind. The second point, along with being yourself, is make sure that you're building relationships, because we are in the relationship business. So whether it's on social media, or if you are a home party person and you're at the home parties, get to know these people and take notes or something if you have to. That's what I have to do, because I can't remember everyone. If I know that, something's going on, maybe their daughter's getting married or something. When I'm writing their order form, I'll just put a note up there. That way, when I send a thank you card or I follow up with them again, I can ask about that. Build those relationships, add them on your social media accounts. Make sure you're commenting on their things. One of my customers, really good customers, her son got a haircut, and I noticed it. And a lot of times as we all do, we tend to just scroll Facebook. Take the time to just comment, oh my gosh, his haircut's so cute. Or congratulations to your child on 8 honor roll. Make them feel important to you and like there is a relationship, because that's the most important thing in our business, is building the relationships. And knowing when you go in to talk to someone about the opportunity, it's not about you. And I think many times when we are offering the opportunity, or we are wanting people to join our team, we're thinking, I want to promote, I want to do this, I want to do this. It's not about us. It's about that person. What can Cincy do for them? What can you do for them as their leader? And why would it benefit them to join your team? So why does Cincy stand out from other network marketing companies? Why do you love it? Why are you part of Cincy? Share that with them, and why would that fit into their life? There's many times I'm just watching things in people's personal life, and I'm like, oh gosh, I see you bought a house, things are going great. I saw you were like a little stressed out about money, and I just wanted to reach out with you and share with you what Cincy's done for me, if you would be interested, because you never know. I've shared this with my team several times, because at leadership last year, something that was said by someone from home office was, many times we get really scared to offer the opportunity because we are afraid we're going to get that horrid no, or no thank you, or heaven forbid be ignored, because aren't we ignored in time? But guys, when they say no, they're not saying no to you as a person. They're saying no to the opportunity. And it's probably no for right now, because I can't tell you how many people have come back to me at a later date and joined my team on their own. So when they say no to you, it's just like when you go to a restaurant and you sit down, the waitress comes up and asks if you want coffee. You say, no, thank you. It's not against the waitress personally. You just don't want the coffee. So when people tell us no, it's not against us personally. They just don't want to join our business. And I think many times, because we make this is a personal relationship business, we do take it personal when people say no. So if you hear no multiple times, it's okay. Know that it is going to be okay, that you are going to get to that yes. And I'll give you an example. This is not about recruiting, but yesterday I decided I was going to do something that I don't do. I went to town, as my team calls it. I got everything ready and I headed out, and where I planned to go, I had to change plans, which was great because I had a team member going to where I was going. I didn't want to go to the same place. So I went to another town, and I spent 3 hours going to different stores. Majority of the stores because I was going in with stuff to introduce myself, just to get my name out there. And that's so out of my comfort zone. And I was so scared for that no, but every time I had to psych myself up that they're not saying no against me. They just don't care about Cincy right now. And when they said no, I just left my name and left my number. And you know what? If they never call me, they never call me, right? So in this book, because I was telling you about, one of the things it says about relationships is to approach the prospects with genuine desire to help them. That's how we make it about them and not about us. When you do that, you are going to see such an increase in the people joining your team, people interested in joining your team. You're going to see an increase overall in your team when it's not about you. Sure, I know what my goals are with Cincy, but more than anything, I want to see the people on my team building and growing and reaching their goals. So make sure when someone is looking into joining your team, you're talking about those goals and in your relationship, how you can help them achieve them. The next one that I feel like I am a little different, than many other people is I truly believe that less is best. So I really believe that less is best in many areas of our Cincy business. When I do a home party, less is best. I don't take much. I did a all consultant training call on this, and I thought it was so important for that because when we go to home parties, there are people we meet, and if they're interested in the opportunity, and it's taken me 4 trips into the house to bring all my stuff, that may turn them away because they're thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of work. Because 4 trips in, by the time I'm in there, by the time I've set up, I'm freaking sweating. And I don't even want to do the party anymore because I'm done. And then it takes me, forever to clean up. And to them watching me, they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. I remember people telling me that early on. That's so much work. And I would just smile, the baby on my hip, like, oh yeah, but I love it. Thinking, oh, rah, rah. Especially if the sales were not where I wanted them. So when I'm doing home parties, less is best. When you are speaking to someone about Cincy, less is best. So I learned this early on, and I see many people that join my team that talk to me, and I share with them, and they tell me what they're saying. We have diarrhea of the mouth with Cincy. So we just throw everything up at them, and they don't even understand. When you first join Cincy, there's so many things that are confusing. You have to learn, and it takes a little while. So when we're telling them all about the compensation plan, and then you can get this bonus and this bonus and this bonus, and you can do this with your business, and then this is how you can combine and save and get free and half off, and just answer their questions. That's what I do. I answer their questions. I don't ever do more than that. You will have people that come to you, and they will ask you every question that is. Sorry, there's a weird noise. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. You will have people come to you, and they will ask you all those right questions that a direct seller asks. And those people are going to be like, hallelujah, they know what they're talking about. But there are going to be people that come to you, and they're asking you because they are truly interested. But if you give them way too much information, it will turn them away. Another example of that is in my team, we allow people to visit our team page, when they're thinking about joining, which is totally fine. But for someone that is not sure and easily overwhelmed, my team page can be very, very overwhelming for them because we are very energetic, we're very active, we're very helpful, and tons of notifications. So I have actually had someone wanting to join my team, and because of the way our team page was set up, it overwhelmed her, and she chose not to. So sometimes that can be a challenge, but I definitely would not say don't do that. But that's just an example about how when you give too much information at once, it's really not beneficial. So when someone joins my team or they're talking about joining my team, I always share about Shooting Star. I don't even talk about Sensational Start until they're at least halfway through Shooting Star, if not already finished with it. I don't want to throw all that at them at once because to hear $500 and then $1,250 and then the $1,000, that's just too much. So the way I set it up is I talk to them about this Shooting Star, and the next one I talk about is actually Certified Consultant, because that's my goal: Shooting Star, Certified Consultant, Sensational Start 1, then 2. That's always my goal with people. So if I go and I'm sharing all this with them, they are so confused, and it truly, truly is better to keep it less is best. And when you are speaking to them, let me see. I wrote a page number down. Say something.
Oh, this is just the beginning of the episode?
Yeah. So it says information overload is a national epidemic, and it's so true. When we give them way too information, you're confusing them and many times pushing them away. The fourth point is simply truly be excited about your product. Your words are so powerful, and your example you put out there on social media person is so powerful. And if you're just going around carrying your scent, you're like, hey, you want to smell this? I mean, yeah, it smells all right. Oh, this scent of the month, it sucks. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, be excited. Even if you hate it, they may love it. I'm telling you, most people hate guava honey. It's my favorite. Like, if you don't like it, send it to me. Like, it's my favorite scent. And it's funny because most people hate it. So even if I hate a scent, I will never say I hate it. My customers will say, well, what's your opinion? I'm like, maybe I'll say it's lighter or it's like stronger. You should try it out. Let me send you a sample, or you may love it. Something like that. Like, I don't ever say I don't like it. I have said before, that's not really my favorite, but it's okay. I'm honest with people, but I'm not ever going to be like, oh. So it's very important that you are excited about your product and you are sharing it with people. You're excited about the opportunity, because although we're talking about recruiting, when you're talking about your Scentsy business and trying to sell things and the product, that's all brought in together with recruiting, because everything they see you do, everything you're doing, they're watching you. So in recruiting, we're talking to people all the time about joining your business, and all you're simply doing is planting seeds. And every single time they come back to you and talk to you, all we're doing is watering those seeds, waiting for them to sprout up, because they are going to eventually, most of them. The fifth point I have, and this is one of my favorite ones that I feel like is very beneficial for people that are on the fence about the opportunity, about Scentsy, because there are some people that come in, like Sabrina on here, for example. She came to me. I didn't really know her. She was ready to join. I'm going on a cruise. I just wanted her to chill out and wait till I get back, because I wanted to make sure I could help her the way I like to help people. Well, she did not want to wait. She signed up and she's ready to go. And I was leaving the country on a cruise. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So there are some people that come in like her and they're just gung-ho. Let them go with it. But there are some people that come in that they're just really not sure. Had another girl, and this is where I came up with this idea. And it's not like a new idea, I'm sure, but she was really hesitant because the $99, it's not easy for everyone. And she was just really nervous she couldn't do it. So I said, hey, you know what? Why don't you take this? I call it a borrow bag on steroids. Why don't you take it with you? Take it for a couple of weeks and see what you can do. And in the end, her goal was just to get 500. And in the end, if you don't get it, I'll just take the sales and put them in. It was not going to hurt anyone. Like, if she just got a few $100s in sales and she decided, you know what, I don't think I want to do this, I would just put those $300 in sales in, and I'd be happy. She'd be a great customer, awesome party. But she walked around for 2 weeks with that bag, and she turned around when she came back to me, she was ready to join. She had sold around $800, because she didn't do a home party. She talked to people. She shared it with people. So she came back and she decided she was joining. She paid the $99 to join. Her first party was right there. But the key is I let her borrow, kind of like the try before you buy kind of thing. So I gave her a borrow bag on steroids. She tried to be a consultant in a sense, and she rocked it out, and she decided, this is what I'm going to do. I have done that about 4 times, because I only do it with people that are local, and many of my people are not local. I've done it 4 times, and I think only 1 time they have said, you know what, I don't think I want to do this. Most people are like, oh, that was fun, because they're carrying this bag around, and they're excited because they want to prove to themselves they can do it. So letting them try before they buy, by giving them, in my borrow bag with steroids, I have a video on it, but it's simply a warmer, some wax. I give them, if you're a consultant, you all have the clamshells that have, several pieces of wax left that you haven't used in your home. I threw in 5 of those, said, hey, use them at your leisure. I gave her some washer whips. At that time, we didn't have the kitchen stuff. I gave her probably one of everything, a buddy, and she just took it around. And it was in a big square 31 bag I had, and she carried it everywhere. But given her that, she told me, and the other people that did it, what it did for them was it showed them that I cared if they succeeded or failed. I did not want them just to sign up. I wanted to make sure they could do it. So letting them try before they buy is a good way to get people in if they are on the fence. And the key there is the people. And what I tell people is, if you're doing this, just make sure the people that are ordering from you understand you are not closing this order until X date. That means it will not ship for a long time. But most people are okay, because they're usually going to their friends and family at that point. So who do I ask to join my team? Well, when I first joined, my two best friends joined my team. Today, they are still on my team. They were the first two people who joined. 2 months after I joined Cincy, I joined and I was just like a kidnapper. I wasn't really I don't know why I joined. There was really no reason. I'd actually put my whole kit in my closet, in the cabinet, and thrown the box away because I'm like, oh gosh, I just need to sell $500 and make my $99 back. And then someone asked me to do a party. I went to that party with how old was she? 7-month-old on my hip. I had a blast. We sold over $700, and I was just shocked that A, I had this much fun with women, and B, we just sold all that much Cincy just sitting there having fun. And after that, I started promoting it on Cincy, like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun, or look what I did. I'm this close to my first promotion, blah, blah, blah. And my two best friends, like, decided they were joining me out of nowhere. And then every month after that, my goal has always been at least one new team member. And, over the course of the last couple of months and reading some books, I'm realizing I need to step that up. Like, one, awesome, but I need to, be thinking high, we are only holding our own selves back. We are limiting our own selves by saying, oh, they don't want to join, or we can't do that, or that's too much work. So the people that, you may reach out to, or your close friends, who do you want to go on free vacations with you? That's what I tell my team. If you're planning to earn a free vacation, who would you like to take with you? I'll tell you, one of my really dear friends, we talked about vacationing together a lot back in California when I lived there. I've tried everything to get this girl to join my team because let's vacation together. She still has not joined my team, homegirl. I'm like, we could go on vacations. The other people are your customers. And sometimes people are very hesitant to have their customers or their hostesses to join their team. Because when you have a really good hostess that joins your team, all those people that come to her parties simply usually become her customers. And sometimes that can be very hard. For example, last year I spent a month and a half in East Texas, where I'm from. I did many, many parties. I walked away in November with $4,000 in sales because of all those parties I did because I live in Florida. This year, I'm going for 2 weeks. I have 0 parties because every one of those hostesses joined my team. And so it's like, that's awesome, but darn, I need new people in East Texas. But I don't live there, so I don't know people. So don't feel like they're holding you back. To me, I always say, when someone joins my team and my customers become their customers, it honestly just causes me to have to get out of my comfort zone and meet new people. And that's what we're trying to do all the time anyways. And then your family. Shockingly enough, my mom and my sister and my sister-in-law and my cousin and my aunt, and now my stepmom and my stepsister are all part of my Cincy team, which is insane. But slowly these people are watching you. The more you're consistent in your business and you don't give up, the more they're going to want to become part of it. So I'm almost finished, but once you get them, once they join your team, the key things to me, the very first thing is I want them to hit shooting star. And the reason for that is I always tell them, yeah, you get, you have the option to buy an enhanced starter kit. It's $200. But hey, you've got 90 days to buy it. I understand if, that doesn't even entice you because I'm honest. Like when I first joined for $99, I wasn't looking to spend another $200 on stuff. But after 3 months, you'll normally know if you're going to really work this. And most people honestly turn around and buy it because they see what a good investment it is. But the way I really approach it, because I feel like shooting star is so important, is that when you hit shooting star, it's going to get you that much closer to your first promotion. It's going to get you that much closer to the next award that Cincy has set for you. Notice I said next award. I didn't say sensational start because less is best. If they come back and say, oh, wait, what next award? Then I'll explain it. But most of the time, if I say it right then, in another 10 days, I'm going to have to explain it all over again because we're so focused on what we have to do right now. And before we understand it all, it can all, go on together. Lead by example. When you become a leader and you have people on your team, it's so important that you lead by example. I have a group of girls that are in a group I'm in, a Brave Academy. That's what we call it. And this week and last week and probably the week before, because I was at boot camp, I have not been near as consistent as I normally am. And I said to them today, like, I don't like consistent people. I mean, inconsistent people, like inconsistent leaders. I think it's very important that we're consistent with our team members. So make sure if you have people join your team, you're being consistent with them and you're leading by example. And the one thing that will make this journey easiest for you and for that person is when you have someone join your team, you know what you do with them every single time. Well, what's the plan? I know when someone joins my team, I talk to them, well, what are your goals with Cincy and how can I help you? How much do you want me involved with you? And then we start talking about Shooting Star. How do you do things in the first 15 days? And every time, or in the first 15 and so on. And then when someone else joins your team, duplicate it. Don't remake the wheel every time. Just duplication is key for a successful business. And recruiting. There you go. Done. That was a whole lot of talking.
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
My people never have questions. They're just rock stars, I guess.
I know my team member, Stephanie, showed up. Stephanie, do you have any questions? I know you're muted. Steph? No? Yes? Marie, do you have any questions? All right. Well, I learned a lot. Thank you. I loved the one about like, you know, and the way like I always say to my team, because this resonated with me, was I don't know if you've ever watched any of Christina Steinbrook's stuff, but in one she said like, it's not like we're going up and asking them to donate us a kidney or something. It's you're just asking them, do you want to make some money and join my team? And that, like, when you said that too about like the coffee thing, about like, first of all, who says no to coffee? Like, never would I ever say no to coffee. Marie knows. But like, seriously, like, you know, it's so easy. If they say no, it's not like they're stabbing you in the heart. It's not like, you know, you're right. They might say yes next time, and they might say yes, you know, another time. But if you don't ask, like, before I did this, I worked in eye care. I was on the professional side of it doing eye exams, but then I would help out, like, you know, when they needed it, selling glasses and stuff. And like, they always said never like discriminate against people, because they might come in looking super grubby, and then those people are the ones that are buying 2 pairs of glasses, spending $1,500, and you're like, what? You know, I mean, so you can never, like, don't ever project onto people what they're going to say before you ever ask them. So, I mean, that really resonated. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that I know when I heard that at at leadership, I was like, oh, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. But we do tend to take it personal because because it is such a relationship business, you know? It's like, you know, any issues come up with, like, in your team or whatever, it's personal because you love these people. And even the people you're talking to about joining your team, like, you have a relationship with them. So if they say no, you're like, oh, stab me in the heart. Oh.
I know. So, yeah. I
always say, because I heard this early on, too, it takes 10 no's to get 1 yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell my girls that also. So if they're not asking, they're not going to get that yes.
Right.
Exactly. You have to get out of your comfort zone and get on it.
And it's true that people are watching, because I have a lady who I spoke with about joining about a month ago, and she's just been watching, and she's really quiet, doesn't really comment on anything. But she just contacted me today and is going to sign up on Saturday.
Wow.
Awesome.
So you never know what that one thing is that's going to trigger someone to be like, oh my gosh, I need to do this.
That's the thing too, is like, life happens and things change in your life. Like, Doug told my team this before, like, there was a girl who I had asked, and she got like really snarky with me about it, and like, it hurt me. Like, she was a good friend of mine, and of course I'm a little sensitive when it comes to friendships. So like, when she said what she said to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. But then a year and a half later, she wrote me, she's like, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm like, what? Like, I speak Cincy to her for that reason, you know. But so Shannon said she just asking people, she tends to answer for people. Is that what you're saying, Shannon? I think so. Yeah. So I've told a few people on my team lately, like, quit answering for them. Like, quit saying no. Oh, they're a doctor. They won't join Cincy. You know how many doctors join Cincy for the tax write-off? Or they do that. They won't join Cincy. Or even like Molly was saying, you know, just the way they look, they don't have the money for Cincy. I'm telling you, like, we've got to quit answering for them because that is hard. But I do it too. We all do it. Yeah. Stephanie says that she has 7 frontline and 6 of them came to her. And, you know, so many of mine come to me too, and it's because they watch you. And I'll tell you, Stephanie, just by watching, if you ever watch Stephanie, if you're friends with her, she always posts positive things, and she's always sharing, you know, whether it's a picture of something in her house. It's so important to, like, be personal about it and share stuff, you know. That's hard. Yes. Ashley said, y'all can read it. I don't know why I'm reading it to y'all. But, and then they join other companies. That is so hard. I know there have been people that I taught, like, that I was in college with or I taught school with. And I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't want to do this. There's no way. And then I see them join another company. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They would have done this, you know? So that is so true. That's hard.
But then too, at some point, you know, they join something that's not as sustainable as Scentsy, or, you know, I mean, what I love about Scentsy too, I mean, besides the fact that it's awesome, is that it's a consumable product, you know. So, you know, they join these companies where it's like, and not bashing other companies, but you can get enough jewelry. I mean, I can get to a point where I have enough jewelry. I can get to a point where I have enough, you know, bags to carry things around and stuff. But like with Scentsy, you always have to get more wax because you're using it up. So they could eventually come back to you too.
And a lot of times it really comes with the also the leadership they have and the community you build. Because I've had a lot of people that have come to us on our team and they've done something before and they're like, whoa, I've never had this kind of thing before. You know, and like when you build that community with your team and with your downline people who are joining, like people see that when they join.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's important. But yes, if you do not have this book, I encourage you to get it. And I would get it like hardback. That's the word. That way you can write it. Like I've had my books. Like I've bought several ebooks and I actually have such a hard time because I can't write in them. But this is a really good book. Anything by Mary Christensen is really good. I have several of her books.
Yeah, and I had always and Marie and I have the same sponsor essentially, and I asked her, you know, oh, is that, you know, should I get that book, you know, is that one I should read? And she was like, oh, you know, there's not a whole lot, you know, she's not really big about books, so she's like, if you feel like you need to. And I'm like, she goes, but you know, you really don't need to. And I was like, oh okay. But now that you're saying that you've had such success with it, it's worth a shot, you know.
This one and network marketing. If you're on here and you bought the book and you did it in one of my groups, I don't know if any of y'all did.
Is it the green one, Cassie?
Superstar?
What?
Is it the green one?
I think it's Green and White by Sarah Robbins.
Okay.
Is that right? Network.
Yes. It's really little. I have that one too.
Yeah. Ashley, I see you're asking that question. The time is going to go out, but if you're on my team and y'all want to keep chatting, I can definitely get a new book. Network Marketing Superstar. Shannon, is that right?
That's it.
I think it's Network Marketing Superstar. Yes. Rock Your Network. Yes. Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Yeah. Sarah Robbins. And really, you should follow her on Facebook too, because she's got a lot of stuff.
She does a blog too, so you can get emails like once or twice a week from her with just like 2-minute blurbs.
Yeah, she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm subscribing now to make longer meetings in the future for myself.
You do what?
I said I'm subscribing now to make my meetings longer in the future because, like, my team doesn't really come to my meetings, so this is like the longest one I've had.
Yeah, I had to pay for it because we tend to talk a lot. Usually they're talking. They're excited.
All right, well, I suppose it's less than a minute, so I should let you all go, but thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, if you get that link up, will you share it? Because I had a team member that wanted to see it.
Yes,
I will. I'll have to upload it to YouTube to get it to work, just so you know. I don't know how you'll do it, but.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Have a good night.
Bye, ladies.